Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to show you how to file an amended consolidated service provider tax return. This is a logged in activity, so you must have a Maine tax portal username and be logged in to do this. We'll begin on the logged in home screen in the summary tab, and we'll navigate down to the service provider tax panel, where we'll click the option to view and file returns. We'll notice that for several periods, instead of the File Now option for an original filing, we instead have a hyperlink that says View or Amend Return. We'll click that hyperlink for the period for which we'd like to amend. And we're brought to the defaults, which is View. Since we'd like to amend this return, we'll click the Amend hyperlink towards the top right corner of the screen. This makes the fields editable. We begin on the demographic information page, where required fields are indicated by a red asterisk or a red circled I. You will be unable to continue until you've completed each of these required fields. In this case, we are entering in our reason for amending by selecting it from a drop-down menu. A few other notes on this screen. There is a Save Draft button at the bottom of each page. You may click this at any time to save your progress. You may also click the Cancel button. This does not save your progress. Or you can navigate back to a previous page by clicking the Previous button, or by clicking a previous screen name in the blue bar at the top. One final note, there is a note at the top of this screen that tells you that you are filing a consolidated return. If you only intend to file for one location, you will need to go to the Manage Locations option under your Account tab. For further instructions, please see our video about branch locations. For now, we're going to click Next to proceed. This brings us to the consolidated screen, where we can see instructions for importing our consolidated schedule. We do encourage you to read these thoroughly before you begin. And you will most likely begin by downloading the consolidated schedule by clicking the Download Consolidated hyperlink. You'll then follow the instructions to enter in your information and re-upload the consolidated sheet. Since we already have our consolidated schedule prepared, we're going to click the Upload Consolidated hyperlink, browse for our file, and once we've selected our file, we'll click OK. We can see that this has populated our total services column. We'll confirm that those numbers look right, and we'll click Next to proceed. If any of your branch locations on the consolidated page had $0 in the total services provided column, you will see an additional page before breakdown of services asking you to confirm the $0 amount for that location. After doing so, or if you did not have a location with $0 in total services provided, you will be brought to the breakdown of services page that we are on now. You will be brought to a screen that asks you to confirm this information. Once you're done with that screen, or if none of your branch locations had $0 in total sales and use, you'll be brought to the breakdown of services screen, which we're showing now. The first three lines are editable, and you'll enter in the services information as applicable to you and your business. If you need more information on what any of these lines are asking for, the blue text in the line name does indicate that it is clickable for more information. The remainder of the lines on this screen have auto-populated based on the information on the consolidated screen, so we'll read through them and review the information. Once we've done so, we'll click Next to proceed. Next, we're brought to the totals page, where we can see our total services subject to 6% and our total tax due. Everything here appears accurate, so we'll click Next to proceed. Next is the documentation page. This page is applicable to you if you enter an amount in the bad debts line of the breakdown of services screen, or if you're filing an amended return. Since we are filing an amended return, We'll add our supporting documentation now by clicking the Add Attachment hyperlink. We'll enter in a description of our file, browse for our file, and once our file has been selected, we'll click OK. And we can see that the attachment is now populated in the table below. You will repeat this process as many times as necessary until all supporting documentation has been added. If you accidentally add the wrong attachment, you may click Remove in the rightmost column to remove any particular document. Once everything is ready and attached, you may click Next to continue. Next, we are brought to the amended balance page. This page does contain some very important information, so we're going to go over these 3 lines now. The first line is the account balance line. This line shows what your balance for this account was for the previous business day. It may not include all applicable penalties, interest, payments, and/or returns. It also does not include any changes made as a result of this amended return. The second line, difference from previous tax due, does reflect the changes that you are making by amending this return. And on the third line, we ask that you add the first 2 lines together and enter the result. And lastly, we are asked if we would like to make a payment now. For the purposes of today's demonstration, we're going to say yes. And click Next to proceed. We're brought to the payment screen, where we can say whether our bank account is checking or savings, enter our routing number, our account number, and our account number again to confirm. We are also asked if we would like to save this payment channel for future use. For the purposes of today's demonstration, we're just going to leave it as no. The payment date will default to today. Please note, if you are amending past the payment due date, you cannot future date this payment date. The amount does default to the total on the third line of the balance screen. However, you can enter a lesser amount if you so choose. You will not be able to enter a greater amount. And either way, you'll be asked to confirm the amount again. And we'll click Next to continue. We're brought to the summary screen. We'll read through this information and verify that it looks right. And we'll click Next to proceed. On the declaration page, we are asked to check the box verifying that the return is true, correct, and complete. And we'll enter in the first and last name of the person filing this return. And again to confirm. And then we'll click Submit. That brings us to the confirmation screen. As always, we do encourage you to make note of this information for your records. That does conclude our demonstration of how to file an amended, consolidated service provider tax return. Thank you all for watching.